Hi. That I was just for you guys listening. There's nobody on the trails just yet. I'm sure I'll see many active people today. I am planning to run a summit run on Mount Doug, and this is the base of Mount Doug. I'm on the creek trail, just about to cross Ash. I might well see the outdoor school today. They should be out there. Yesterday was a horrendous windstorm that we had. All our patio accoutrements were blown asunder. Luckily, Norma had all her tomatoes in the house. The vines have been blown about a fair bit. Hello. Hello, Doggy. Do you live on Robin Wood?
No, Kenmore.
Kenmore, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not doing crossing guard duty anymore?
Well, I'm just the backup there. I was
Okay.
there this morning.
Were you? Because I saw the woman last week sometime.
Yeah, well, she's supposed to be there all the time, but she's also on dialysis. She had to go for dialysis today. And I was there all last spring because she was in the hospital there for about 5 months.
Yeah. What happened during the school strike? Were you still on duty or not?
No.
No. But most of the people you deal with would be university students anyway.
At that corner, yeah.
UVic?
Although we're there for elementary kids.
As well, yeah.
But
But there's not that many.
Not that many, but
Most of them get driven into school by their parents.
that's true.
Have you noticed that outdoor school that they have at Mount Doug? The little
Well,
kids there?
I see the little, like a daycare thing.
Yeah. They're
Yes.
in there, out there, the worst of weathers.
Yes.
It must toughen them up, though.
I guess so, because they're always there.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go by them today. I'm just curious to know how well trained their play leaders are, because this could be a grim experience for kids. It might put them off nature for life if they have a bad instructor.
Well, that's true. That's true.
If they have somebody who would inspire them, who knows where they'd go.
I suspect that the people there are just concerned parents.
Yeah, but they definitely have paid leaders.
Oh, they do they? Okay.
Yeah. It's not just a group of mothers.
Okay.
They definitely have paid leaders, and they have a routine. They're based at the Gordon Head Rec Center. They have a room at the back.
Okay.
So they all start off, they leave their backpacks or whatever, and then they go out to Mount Doug and spend most of the morning there anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm only there in the mornings anyway, but they've been there every morning I've gone by.
Yeah. I think they pack up around, they start around 9 and they finish around 11 or 12. It's like half a day in the park for them. Anyway, today I'm feeling kind of lazy, so I'm just going to run and hike to the summit and back.
Well, that doesn't sound all that lazy to me.
Well, but my problem is it hurts when I run hard now, so I try and make it so that I'm climbing a fair bit, and then I don't have to run all the time. I don't want to wear out my hip too early.
Yeah, I know, I can't run anymore.
I do a fair bit of cycling as well.
I do too. I do at least an hour a day.
Oh, that's good. I have to catch up a little bit now because my target is 10 hours of running or cycling a week. So I'm up to about an hour and a half this week, so I've got some running to do yet.
Well, I never keep track of it. I just know that.
Well, I like to keep track. It's about the only time that I actually take any notice of time or numbers.
Yeah.
How active I've been this week, that kind of thing. Instead of saying, yeah, I've been pretty active, I can tell you exactly how active I've been. No more, no less.
Yeah.
But try to hit that sweet spot.
Okay, yeah. You don't keep. Oh, you got your cell phone.
I
Has
got
it
all
a
the
GPS.
Yeah, it's got GPS.
Okay.
So I have all
So-
that sort of thing.
Yeah. So you can keep track of your distance.
Oh, and the other thing is when I stop, the GPS pauses.
Oh.
So all this little talk that we've had
Yeah.
doesn't count against me in time.
Also for the time factor. Yeah. Oh, that's
Otherwise, it
interesting.
would say, I'm not running, I'm standing still.
I thought it was only going to give you distance.
No, it gives you time
Gives
and
you time,
distance, and
yeah.
if you're not moving, it stops the clock. Very handy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll see you later. What's your name, by the way?
Bill, and you're
Carlos.
Carlos.
Spanish name.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Bill and Carlos, BC.
Yeah.
There you go. Now we
Okay.
won't forget. Bye-bye. See you, Bill. So that was the crossing guard, as you probably figured. I've mentioned him a couple of times in the past. Yeah, I love this game. I love this sport. The sport of trail running. The sport of outdoor schooling. I guess I'm like one of those preschoolers who never graduated. I'm still returning to the classroom. Once again, I'm listening to my Wednesday podcast. My shakedown stream. The Grateful Dead. 4 hours of my morning will be with a musical accompaniment. So I even forgot about the traffic here, but within seconds I'll be away from it again. Bill. I gotta remember that. Bill. Well, this part of the public access point for this trail has been beautified with rustic wooden posts and fencing. It's very nice. I guess it was a little bit too exposed to the drop-off. So I'm still running sub 7 at the moment, 2 kilometers into this run and approaching the school of small children in the woods. I will drop off into the washroom for a drink. I always forget to drink when I go out on these short loops, knowing that I can always hit 1 or 2 drinking spots. Oasis. Not quite so important in the winter as in the summer. So far no sign of any Kinder. Das Kinder. Oops. This time of the year it's quite hard to avoid the branches on the ground. They get covered by leaves and they're not quite like a bear trap, but they trigger at the slightest provocation and wrap themselves around your ankles. You know, the kids are here. Alright, so this is going to be a pause in my conversation, but not a pause. in my audio recording. Yep, they have their little pylons setting up their little playground. Hello. Are you always here every day?
Monday to Friday, yeah, for 2 hours in the morning, yeah.
Ah, I was wondering, how old are these children?
They're 2, they're toddlers.
Wow.
Some of them will be 3, some of them are 2 and a half. And
Okay.
then some of them are newly 2.
Well, I come out here almost every day as well, so that's why I see you all
see
the
us? Yeah.
Can I come through your playground?
Absolutely. You are
Thank
absolutely
you.
welcome.
All right. Maybe I'll see you later, all right? Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Two. I thought they were young. 2, man. Well, there was about 9 small children and 2 young women. Yeah, I'm going to take the up option, which will get me to the summit quickest. N'est-ce pas? Yeah, I'm pretty sore these last few days. I don't think it's from running. Hi there.
Hi.
I see this guy every week. He's fast. He looks like a racehorse, his legs, his muscles. Long boned. Probably weighs about 170 pounds and is 6'1" in height. I'm just guessing. Probably could still wear a small or medium t-shirt. He's a specialist. You notice the specialist runners have chests like sparrows, ribs and lungs. First compulsory hike. This is one of my traditional hike spots. I explained last week all about this little spot here, so I won't bother to explain it again. I really have enjoyed listening to all my friends early this week. I heard from, let's see if I can remember them all. Well, in order of unexpectedness, I will have to put my friend from Royal Oak, Mike. What's his handle? His handle used to be Dirt Dog 50K, Now I think his name is Run Principal or Running Principal, something like that. Anyway, yeah, Tut Dog. Good to hear from him. He did the Detroit Free Press Marathon, and my friend Michael Davies, he ran a marathon in a fairly respectable time. Very respectable time. Actually, I think he probably set his goals a little high and was suffering from anxiety, performance anxiety possibly. The first half of a marathon is always doable if you've been training for the full. I would have recommended that he found the glory zone early and instead of pushing out of it, to stay in it. Hello. The glory zone is just slightly more exciting than the comfort zone. You know you're racing when you're in that glory zone, but you're not pushing into the zone of pain. You're not opening the door to the hurt locker too soon in your run, Michael. But still, you did well. You did very well. Hi. You see, I'm up to 3K already, and I'm hovering around 7 minutes per kilometer pace, and I have a fair amount more of hiking to do to get to the summit. I'm going to be going over the fake wood bridges and up onto the Little Elephant Rock, and then the steep, slippery climb to the summit. From there I'll just parachute down pretty much. I've got one escape trail that I use, Glendenning. I often use Glendenning to get in and out of the park. What I was thinking about just yesterday while I was listening to some of the very professional sounding BBC podcasts, that quite often the parts that I enjoy the most are the ambient sound that the mic picks up before, during, and after the conversation. I'm sure they're using quite sophisticated equipment, probably not much better than the Sony. So I'm now on the main drag up the back side of Mount Doug. You notice I broke that word up for obvious reasons. So Dirt Dog, yeah, Michael Davis, yeah, Steve, the house dog, Steve, prancing preacher of pace. He's been putting out more than me lately. I have had to limit my enthusiasm to 2 to 3 episodes of my life per week. But as I often say on Wednesday, that I owe you a show. This is like the first run after 2 days rest. You're very eager to do it. But the pain is still there, don't worry. The pain will go away when it wants to. I just have to adjust the distances that I run to accommodate the gradual healing of my old body. I've been eating a little bit more lately, which is always good. At the moment I'm 1 chicken thigh in to a 3 chicken sweep. So in the next 2 days, it's 1 day actually. This is the fake wooden bridge. See, it doesn't ring quite like wood. It rings a little bit more when I run on it. I think it's because the time of contact is shorter, so it has a chance to resonate. Wood is more springy than that pressurized plastic reconstituted lumber. Alright. I'll let you relax for a little while and listen to everything but my voice. This is quite steep. Very soon I can run again. Just around here. Yeah, getting back to my list of listens. Steve and I have had a little bit of podcasting ping pong going on. He posted, I returned. He posted, I returned. He posted again. All for 11 minutes of learning. The product is good at the end. We managed between us to get a high quality rendition of his phone recording. He is using an old sock, and he is going to be taping some of this sock material to the live end of his smartphone. So he will be able to continue enjoying the sound of quality audio capture That's what it all boils down to, really. Then we just have to think about content. But there is no real such thing as dead air on a running podcast unless there is silence, mechanical, electronic silence. Like if you accidentally turned off your app and stopped recording in the middle of a half-hour block. Alright, so I'm now on Upper Whittaker, just heading for the Little Elephant Rock, when I'll double back on myself, which you'll be able to see on the trace that I will be posting on my blog at www.whotheheckknowswhathe'stalkingabout.com. No, I'm Blogspot. That's right. Blogspot. One of the very first. Ow! 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 I didn't fall, but what I did was that overcorrection that you make when you're losing your balance. And I pulled my aching ass muscle. I'm not sure what the real technical term for the ass muscle is. I know it's not the gluteus. The gluteus, I know what the muscle that is. But this one is a very small muscle, I believe. This is Little Elephant Rock. Yep, I'm going to have about 10 minutes of hiking to the summit now, which will help me stretch out my ass muscle a little bit. I think it's the piriformis, I'm not certain. I don't think it's pain from the bone, I think it's pain from the inflamed nerve. But that's one of the reasons I did this summit run, was so that I could get a workout in, justify some elevation change, justify some slow hiking progress, and also extend my range of motion in my hip area, because running is a very good cardio workout, but in terms of range of body motion, running is very, very limited. You probably have to move more lawn bowling than running. It's true. If you think about it, the most important muscle that you're working when you're running is your heart. Not your legs, your heart, in conjunction with your lungs. So I've got my Saucony trail shoes, the ones that you've heard through their entire life of 10 months. These are the ones that are good on wet rock, which is what I'm on now. Getting back to my checklist of podcasters that I've listened to this week, I mentioned Mike and Jim and Michael. Even though Michael is not a podcaster, he seems to be part of our group. An honorary jackal pack jackpack guy. Well, I'm sure that we will all meet each other this side of the great beyond. I'm certain. Alright, I'm going to go through a bit of bushwhacking here. Only because it's less slippery than the wet rock, and at this stage the wet rock is steep enough for me to have to put my hands down. That's the other reason that I'm not using that route right now, because my hands are busy. I have my Sony in my right hand, and it is about as close to the ground as my knees. When I'm climbing like this, it is pretty much a chin scraper. Alright, this is where I have no choice but to climb the rock. Wish me luck. No, I don't have to do it just yet. There's still another wiggle, a bushwhack around the back. So, yeah. I also heard from Jim. Yes, Jim. My buddy Jim. I'm stalling because I forget which state he claims he lives in. Pennsylvania. That's right. Pennsylvania. How could I forget? I think the preacher of Pace is from Pennsylvania. I'm not sure about that. Padre of progression. I suspect that he gives a very interesting sermon once a week. Maybe one day he could just record his sermon for his parishioners and play it back over the speakers of the church with a little bit of a musical accompaniment from his organist, Brent Midland, who is now and has been for 30 odd years on the other side of the stage, looking down. Life is a stage, and we are all actors. I believe that was Shakespeare said that. Okay, this is a very nice big flat piece of, I guess it's granite, but it's flecked. There are traces of strata in the granite, and I'm not sure if that's possible. So it might well be not granite, but something more like marble, which I believe is an igneous or a metamorphic rock. I could be wrong here, but like with bugs, there is always the resource of all your friends on Facebook. It's a very good way of striking up a conversation with your friends on Facebook, is posting the picture of a bug that you see and crowdsource for some ID on this picture. Apparently I saw a stink beetle yesterday. Apparently when they're startled they squirt some stink at the people, try to disturb their day. But they describe the smell as the smell of fresh coriander, which some people are genetically disposed to not finding pleasant. I quite like the smell of coriander actually, but my favorite all-time culinary smell is cooking with fenugreek. Fenugreek is that pungent little mustard-colored seed that only liberates its flavor when it's pulverized. It's one of the most aromatic of the spices and herbs in a curry. So, to Jim from Pennsylvania. Yeah, I'm listening for his next submission. I understand he had some woes with iOS 8. Me too. I suspect that one of the reasons we're being hit with all these battery problems is that iOS 8 includes a piece of software that links with our GPS apps. Hello. Shame it's so cloudy today. Do you see the pumpkins down there? The field of pumpkins?
I know, it's so neat.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, I gotta get going. I'll see you. So that was the summit, and I think I startled the young lady. She was about to take a picture of the mist from the top of Mount Doug. So I'm now at 200 meters coming down. I guess I should say the front side of Mount Doug now. The side of Mount Doug that faces downtown Victoria and the inner harbour. Yep, Jim and his iOS 8 woes. Yep, I noticed that I was getting double and triple credits for my workouts. There's one particular aspect of the new operating system that asks you to give permission to certain apps to write to their site with your activity, which is theoretically a good idea, but if you've got Runkeeper going, if you've got Map My Run going, if you've got whatever else app, iSmooth Run going, you get credited for that run 3 times, which is not correct. Alright, so that was the 11 o'clock beeper. I'm now running down Glendenning towards my eventual escape onto the suburban back streets of Gordon Head. So that's it, Jim. I think it might be your running apps that are constantly trying to communicate with a less than perfect iOS application that was foisted on us by the upgrade. I just dropped two of my potential problem apps. Oh, we'll wait until the people at Apple decide that there is enough negative feedback from their recent update and do something about it. I hate it when these big companies use the general paying public as beta testers. But I guess they're so worried about being beaten by a rival company that they put these things out in the half-baked state and expect us all to upgrade and appreciate the differences. This won't be appreciated for a while yet, as I say, not until they get somebody like my son to look through the code and see what's going wrong. So Jim and his woes. What else? Oh, of course. How could I possibly forget the Floridian man about town, Mr. R. Mr. Rosenberg. Hang on a second, Norman. I have to negotiate wet rock again. Ever since I injured my ass bone, I have been very cautious about falling on this kind of stuff. Yeah. This is about as quiet as Mount Dog gets. In the distance I can just about hear the rumble of traffic. But that would be about almost a kilometer away, 5/8 of a mile for the Americans listening. Watch out for rolling rocks. There has been times when I have been hit by my own rock. I loosen it, it starts to roll, and it catches up with me. Yeah, Mr. R, just Norm. I am so happy with you since you have refurbished your Sony. The windsock was not working as well at the end as it was at the beginning, and it is now working perfectly. The beauty of having the windsock is that our commentary is not accompanied by a constant arm swing, which I guess you can get used to, but we have the constant pitter-patter of feet, the hypnotic quality of feet. Alright, this is definitely the time when I have to put the brakes on. Downhill slope, no roots, no rocks. Huge trees. Hello.
Hi there.
Oh. Big tree, eh?
It is. A lot of those in here.
A lot of very big trees. Look at this one.
Yeah.
Magnificent. So my pace has dropped to 9-minute pace, and I'm heading to pick up about a minute in pace, possibly 8-minute pace, which is 5. What do you think now? 8 minutes per kilometer. Yeah, I think it's probably 5 miles an hour. maybe not that fast, I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. Wow, talk about debris. And the ground is absolutely covered in pine branches. I'm having to dodge all these things that have blown down off the tree last night. I might actually see a fallen tree today. We were woken up today to some pretty tragic news. We heard that terrorists had opened fire in Ottawa, the nation's capital, and shot one of the guards outside the main memorial building. I'm not sure exactly which one it was, but yep, it could have been a radicalized Islamist. Who knows? Things like that really upset me. I was debating whether to record at all today because of news like that, but really and truly, life is tragic in many ways. I think we just have to accept that we're not going to enjoy everything that we hear. Hello.
I was amazed. First of all,
I knew those people. All of them. From the rec center. They're the kind of women that you see on the treadmill and on the rowing machine, staying active. They probably were very active when they were kids. Maybe they were on the track team, that kind of thing. Instead of people like myself and possibly you who've become late adopters of the active lifestyle, late bloomers they call us. But the good thing about late bloomers is that we tend to not have too many time goals in our running. The fact that we're just out there doing it is enough. And if, as I was saying to Steve, if you're running comfortably enough to be able to speak in full sentences, then that's just about the pace that you will be able to maintain for most of your active life. Obviously, if you're running in pain like I am today, you have to back it off a little bit, but I find it quite therapeutic to discuss my aches and pains with you. So Norman is probably going to be running tomorrow. Don't quote me on this, but I think he will. He tries to run Tuesday and Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, if his lovely wife lets him. His last show, when he answered the phone to his missus, it was quite funny because she was obviously asking him what he wanted for supper, and he was too busy yakking with us to really stop and think about it. I hope he ate something nice and nutritious and delicious last night. I can hear the recycle truck. I'm just coming out on Harvest Lane, back onto the solid sidewalk surfaces of suburbia. I hope to have this episode out for Normie's commute. If I get it to him soon enough before he leaves from work, he can listen to it on the way home. Yeah, this is a little bit noisier because I'm going to have to deal with the recycle truck and my noisy, stiff-soled trail shoes on the hard surface. So many things that come and go from my mind as I'm running, and I'm not sure why, but listening to the music at the same time while I'm running kind of calms me. I remember Norman trying something the other day that he had to abandon. I think he was probably trying to listen to a podcast, and listening to changing dialogue while you're trying to speak is like trying to tap your head and rub your stomach at the same time. But listening to music, familiar chord progressions while running is a lot easier. Here's the mail lady that knows me. She's already yakking to some other neighbor. Hello. Hi there.
Hi. Well, I figure all the...
So I've been out for 54 minutes today, and I've run 6k, 9:07 pace. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to mention. Stephen, we can hear your apps yakking away. I know you've turned them down a little bit, but I'm not sure whether having 3 apps running at the same time while you're recording is a good idea, if only for battery life. A lot of those portable devices, if the battery life is below a certain level, it'll shut off certain apps that are hungry for electricity. That could have been what happened during your recording the other day, the one that ended up as 18 minutes of silence at the end of 11 minutes of quite interesting audio. I mentioned in my email that I wasn't sure what the significance of the name was, but I've noticed with Spreaker that if you put in a very long title to the podcast, it'll abbreviate it with just printing the first 15 or 20 digits. So try and keep those titles shorter. I'm going to have to try and drop the wilderness. I was looking back over my podcast the last week or so. Almost every one of them has a W in it. Lots of wilderness, wild Wednesdays. So I'm now about a kilometre from my home, passing the minimalist house. Oh, here's a deer. I'm going to take a picture of this deer. This is going to take a few seconds. I'm having to unwrap my phone from its baggie. I'm still recording, as you can hear. Alright, 2 shots. This was quite fortuitous because the deer were standing right in front of the minimalist house. Hang on a second, something went wrong with the music here. That's the other advantage of recording with the Sony. If the iPhone gets overloaded, I don't lose my audio. But maybe some of your family, well, one of your family might give you a Sony voice recorder for Christmas. Wouldn't that be nice? Alright, final leg. Workout resumed. There's a set of Louvre blinds. If you want them, come and get them. Here it is, come and get it. But you better hurry, 'cause it's going fast. If you want it, here it is, come and get it. Yep. There's the recycle truck. Well, the aches and pains haven't gone away completely, but very soon I will be able to rest and eat some more chicken and carrot stew. Yep, so while I was on Mount Doug today, I started talking about my chicken stew. Yeah, 3 chicken thighs, 4 slender carrots, 3 onions, and I think it was 2 potatoes. That'll make 3 meals for me. One I had last night, and I'm going to eat twice before I go to yoga today. So that should be good. I'll probably end up going on the bike to yoga because Derek has started cycling on his own now, which is very good. He used to run with me a lot, and then it got to the stage when he wouldn't run unless I was going to run with him. And invariably, Derek sleeps until noon when he's not working the dish pit at Montana's. A job that he hates. Anyway, one of the things about his job is that he can afford to buy a bicycle. He bought one a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago, and he now rides by himself. So he is benefiting from the workout that he's getting from his bike. Pretty quiet neighbourhood, apart from a little bearded Taliban talking to himself. It's pretty quiet. I will send this up to Spreaker as is, I apologize if it's an hour long, but there you go. You can always listen to it in 2 parts. I'm not sure how long your commute is, but I won't be putting anything out until Saturday or Sunday. Probably Sunday. I have some runs planned for this next few days. Graham is having an eye operation. Hello. One hour and 1 minute. And I'm home. So I should have about 55 minutes, probably a little more, because I did talk to Bill, the crossing guard, for a few minutes, which won't be part of my run because of the auto pause, but that is something that I was a little confused about, how I had longer recordings than my runs, and that was because when the app pauses, my recorder is still rolling. So this is it. I'm home. According to my run app, my running app, I have been out 1 hour, 2 minutes, 48 seconds, 7.15 kilometers. Here, you're going to get it from her.
Workout stopped.
Save. Yep, this is going to go straight to my, what's it called now? The health app. And it's also going to be shared with Daily Mile and Runkeeper. I think Map My Run was the one that was making the double entries. So Wednesday, and I'm home, back to see Endor and have my chicken stew. Bye bye.